Okay, folks, why is everyone so bearish? Everyone's so bearish right now because Trump has disappointed everyone. He promised he was going to give us the Bitcoin strategic reserve, but instead of that, it became like an altcoins or digital assets, he calls them, altcoins national stockpile, right? Stockpile of shit coins, right? So everyone's been disappointed by him. And it's not against Trump or Democrats or anyone, but basically what the market was pricing in terms of expectations of Trump's going to deliver this, and he didn't quite deliver. I mean, if you look at it on my Twitter or in my Discord, I've been telling folks in my videos in the past few days, I've been telling folks not to expect anything from Trump because I said he's only going to do a very symbolic gesture. Symbolic gesture means like I'll buy like $1 worth of Solana, right? That's a symbolic gesture, right? It's the U.S. government buying Solana. Symbolism. Not going to be much money involved because U.S. government is kind of broke right now, right? It depends on your definition of what financial solvency is, but U.S. government is everything. Everything the U.S. government and Trump and Elon and DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, has been doing in the past few days, a few months, is basically cutting costs from the U.S. government. Basically, just they just can't. They've got a lot of debt to finance, and I spoke about that. I spoke about that very recently in the last couple of videos. But today's episode, we're going to look at why I am still bullish, why I think a blow off top can still happen. I'm going to show you guys a few things, right, about Bitcoin and about altcoins, and as crazy as it sounds, when an altcoin season could actually still come. But remember how everyone was very bearish when Bitcoin was around 50K, 49K last year in August and September, and Pablo was the only one who sort of said, I think we're still going to get a altcoin, a Bitcoin run to 94K, 100K, and that did happen. So today we've got a full episode for you, but before we start, that answers the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo Jimenez use? Well, Pablo uses an exchange that is basically a non-KYC exchange, and what that means is you don't need to show any ID. I've made a deal with them, so that means the IRS can't see you, the tax office can't see you, the FBI, CIA, nobody can see you, totally private. Chance to win a Tesla Model 3, Rolex, or even Vision Pro just by trading. Limited time only. This offer lasts for 3 days only, but only on this link. YouTube, for example, then the link is in the description below. TikTok, for example, then basically just head to my profile page. Stand link right there in my profile page. This is only on Pablo's link, only on this link, the deal I've made with Bitunix. Okay, first we're going to look at something that's the most accurate predictor of where interest rates are going. And of course, interest rates are so important for the stock market and the crypto market. I don't need to explain that, right? I hope the guys who've been watching my videos already know this. This is the US 2-year Treasury yield, right? That is the US 2-year Treasury yield. And the blue line is basically the US Federal Reserve interest rates, right? When we talk about interest rates, that's the blue line. And you can see this 2-year Treasury yield clearly leads the blue line. And when it tops once here, twice here, 3 times here, right? Head and shoulders, triple bottom, whatever you want to call it, it clearly is indicating that interest rates have topped and they're heading down. By the time it already crashes, right, from like above 5.2% down to 3.5%, it's already made this massive move. Then when does the Federal Reserve cut rates? It cuts on the 17th of September, on a Tuesday. So it was basically this date, right, after it's already crashed. And then it bounces, showing us that the Fed is probably going to hold rates, right? Since September, it's been doing this, and 4 months later, Federal Reserve holds rates, as it just did in the January meeting. And now it's dropping again. If it breaks down from this 3.7%, right, area and does another leg down, then we can be very confident to say that the Federal Reserve could be cutting interest rates more in the future, right? And if they feel compelled, they could end QT. So when they end QT, that's basically a lot of easing, a lot of more liquidity coming into the markets. I think it's mainly because of Trump and Elon are cutting a lot of government jobs, which, as I said, is great for the long term, but for the short term, it means a lot of unemployment, right? Let me take you guys to another bunch of charts. That shows where Bitcoin and altcoins are right now. Have a look at this. This is a chart of the last 3 bull runs. And what do we see here? We see basically here that Bitcoin usually takes, this is a weekly chart, so 210 bars is 210 weeks, that's 4 years. 205 bars, these are 4-year bull runs. Maybe the 4-year cycle does not repeat itself, but if it does, then we have a little bit more room because we're only 175 bars in. We could have another 30 bars here, right? It could be a short bull run and this is the top, or it could be a long bull run where you get more than 210 bars, right? So what usually happens is Bitcoin, after beating its old all-time high, has 2 legs up, right? This was the old all-time high in 2013. Then in 2017, 1 leg up, 39% pullback, 2nd leg up, right? And then this 20K was the 2017 top. And then it was beat, right? It was beat with a first leg up, and 30% pullback. We see 30% pullback, and then 2nd leg up. And now, right, in this cycle, we have 69K for the previous all-time high. We beat that with 1 leg up, and we have so far 28% pullback, which is why I think we should go a little bit more into like 73K area, right? Like a 32% pullback or something, and then 2nd leg up. So I'm thinking we get a 2nd leg up here, right? Also, let's have a look at where we think altcoins would be if Bitcoin was to pull that kind of move. And the thing is, altcoins, so far we haven't had an altcoin season, but that's actually kind of normal because look at this, right? Look at this. Usually, what happens is this is the altcoins, Bitcoin dominance down the bottom. When Bitcoin dominance drops like this, we have an alt season. That means altcoin dominance is going up, right? It literally means Bitcoin dominance going down, altcoin dominance going up, Bitcoin dominance going down, right? When does that happen? It happens, this blue line, right? These horizontal lines represent the previous all-time high, like we just saw. We have the first leg up after beating the first previous all-time high. We have the first leg up, right? And then we have the 2nd leg up. See this green box. In the 2nd leg up, basically Bitcoin dominance crashes. First leg up, and the green box, it shows 2nd leg up, right? Bitcoin dominance crashes. And then also once again, so far, no crazy altcoin season yet, because we've only had one first leg up, right? Pullback, and then if we get this 2nd leg up, that's when Bitcoin dominance could have a big drop, and we have that altcoin season. Look at the last bull run. All of this, right, alt season happened in the 2nd leg up. During the first leg up, during all of this, when Bitcoin went from 3K to like 40K, right, like a 13x run, Bitcoin dominance actually kind of trended up, right? So all of this altcoin season is basically what's inside this green box. It's basically what's inside this green box, and it doesn't happen until you get a 2nd leg up in the Bitcoin bull run. We have one more chart, and that is the US dollar. US dollar, a lot of folks have noticed, has been dropping quite a lot lately, and that is again thanks to Trump. I'm saying that in a neutral sense, not in that it's good or bad, but I'm just saying because of what Trump and Elon's doing, they really want to lower the US 10-year yield, and when the US 10-year yield comes down, then what happens is basically foreigners park their money in other currencies which offer a relatively high yield as well. So when they do that, US dollar goes down. When US dollar goes down, something very interesting happens. When US dollar goes down, then basically crypto Bitcoin makes a big run. So let's have a look at this. So this is the US dollar index, and have a look at this. Every time, if we draw some sort of support trend line, just a very rough trend line here, and when Bitcoin, when US dollar index breaks its support, boom, when it goes down, see the red circle here, Bitcoin starts that 2nd leg, parabolic run. Again, 21 bull run. US dollar breaks down, right? This is the red circle, breaks down supporting trend line. Bitcoin goes on, well, a big parabolic run. It wasn't the second leg, but it was still a parabolic run nonetheless. And now we've seen here, last time, the red circle, this was November 23, US dollar broke down, Bitcoin had a big run. Now US dollar again is about to break down, and we could see Bitcoin have another run. That's the second leg up I've been talking about. So basically, my message to folks is to not be bearish, and basically keep in mind that we probably get a dip. I think one more dip to at least take out that 78K bottom on Bitcoin, and once we have that, it could go to 73K, could even touch like 69K, depends on how deep the wick down is. I'm still thinking we bounced from like the low 70s or even mid 70s, and there's a number of reasons why we could bounce. As I've shown you guys, the Federal Reserve could be cutting interest rates, could end QT, and China is definitely doing a huge stimulus pump into the economy. That's the number one and number two economies in the world right there. So I know everyone's bearish, but that's probably the exact time to flip bullish. So and for all the Aussies out there, Pablo uses Swiftex, which is the link is in the description below. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you next episode.